you said, and we're going to be talking about how Netflix helped the White Tiger movie become a reality, John. You reminded me that we reacted to this because it was such a long time ago, and it's coming out this Friday on Netflix. So looking forward to it. When you told me what you said during the reaction, it reminded me what the film was about.
Yeah, I was talking about
But
food portions. I
yeah,
wasn't so concerned with the actual story and poor servant getting struck and stuff like that and getting on a sort of rampage. I was concerned with the size of the food portions they were getting and how that's not befitting of a portion of food. I would never eat that. It was a joke to me. Incredibly ignorant. You'd have to forgive me.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm an ignoramus. Oh, it says that I cut a bit out because it was ridiculous. I was going off in an absolute load of shit in the video. But you seen
Yeah,
it at the end anyway. I sneaked another comment in because I just couldn't help myself. I've got a
yeah.
strange relationship with food. I love food. That's why I'm 13 stone. Mostly
That's
muscle.
not strange
Mostly
relationship.
muscle.
That's a loving relationship you have.
You need
But John,
food to
this
live.
is this is coming in from ABC News, and it's quite lengthy, John. But I'll try and rattle through this as much as possible because I'm not sure if you've read this article or not. But it's
Skimmed over it.
Priyanka Chopra Jonas was scrolling through Twitter a few years ago when she saw a headline that a film adaptation of The White Tiger was in the works. She immediately got on the phone to her agent. At her request, please call the producers and offer her services. At the very least, she wanted to be an executive producer and help use her platform to get the word out. Aravind Adiga's novel about a driver in India who rises to become a successful businessman despite the stratified caste system was an international bestseller and critical darling, winning the Man Booker
Interesting
Prize in
concept, to be fair.
2008. In the film, which hits Netflix this Friday, Jonas not only got that producer credit, but co-stars as well. The book had a profound effect on me, Jonas said. It made me uncomfortable and made me think about a part of the world that we sort of desensitize ourselves to.
Yep.
People have been trying to get a film adaptation of The White Tiger off the ground for years. Producer Mukul Diora scooped up the film rights a decade ago, but it's safe to say no one had been hoping to make an adaptation as long as Ramin Barani, the 99 Homes director, and Adiga have been friends since their days at Columbia University in the 90s, and he was reading rough drafts of the novel years ago before it was publicised. He's even on the dedication page. It's an epic story that required a lot of financing and money and resources to get it made in India, Barani said. That wasn't so easy when the novel came out. Diora told him it was fated to be, but even with the precedents of films like Slumdog Millionaire, they didn't think one of the traditional studios would make the film at the level they wanted because, as Bahrain said, there is no comic book characters in it, and they are not flying around shooting and killing one another and encouraging us to go to war.
Whatever do you mean?
So they tried Netflix. Now, John, you can read this full article, and anyone that wants to on ABC.
The implication being that you have to have people flying around and superheroes to get a movie made.
abcnews.go.com. Now, the full article's there. It goes right into, obviously, how Netflix picked this up and their appetite for more global stories. Now, we talked about Netflix and their foreign language films. I think they've got a great catalogue. I think they're missing a trick, though, John. I think Amazon have really stepped in and stepped up on their foreign films a lot better. Certainly the Indian market, anyway, as we've experienced when we're trying to get our hands on. Yeah, I mean, Netflix has its fair share of Indian cinema, John, but I just think Amazon do it a lot better. I just think they've got more genres in there. It's not just Indian films, all the different sort of regions are in there, and that's something that's an education for us. But Netflix is the perfect studio. I'll call them a studio in this case, John,
Yeah.
because this is something
They are a
that
studio. That's what they are.
yeah, this is something that when people talk about international film festivals and the snobbery towards Netflix, you've got to appreciate them from the other flip side of the coin. They will take chances that other studios won't take, John.
Mm-hmm. Stephen, look, they have to, because they can't be as rigid as the traditional studios. They can't restrict the type of person that's coming in to make movies and work as an actor in these movies, they don't worry about box office success because they don't even announce the earnings of movies, how they are being viewed and stuff like that. Much to the annoyance of the likes of Steven Spielberg, because that's a big part of the Oscars and what deserves buzz and whatnot. Money earned and budgets and stuff like that. That winds up the traditionalists in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So you're right, they have to do things differently and they give people a chance. They give the likes of Kevin Smith, smaller filmmakers than that again, chances. They allow Nick Cage to go and do his crazy shit. And they have to be commended for it, and they do. They give a lot of up-and-coming directors from different parts of the world a chance too. They showcase a lot of classic Indian experiences on there. We've watched the likes of Bahubali, the conclusion and the beginning. I wouldn't say they're classic in the sense that they are ancient, 60, 70 years old. Classic in the sense that they are already modern day classics in Indian cinema. We watched them, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Balls to the wall crazy, borderline superhero movie. So, yep, I absolutely agree with what they're saying in here, that it's gave this movie a chance when it perhaps wouldn't have been given a chance, because it's a distinctly different story to what you normally see in cinema these days.
That, yeah.
Cape Crusaders, people shooting things with lasers and destroying buildings, the Hulk bouncing around. This is
I
about
would even
cast.
say the likes of Bahubali is a fantasy film.
Yes.
That he's a superhero,
Yes.
you know, and I think that's what they're getting at. You know, this is more grounded and organic. This film, you know.
Stephen, I don't
the
see
fact
how
it's based on a book as well.
I don't see how this movie wouldn't get a theatrical run with another studio though, because it's an interesting concept. It's got a pretty decent cast. Priyanka Jonas Chopra, I think her name is, Chopra Jonas, whatever. She's a decent sized actor, even in Hollywood, let alone in India. And it's an interesting story, as I did. You read it out. It's about caste system, about the discrepancy in society. We've seen that done very well in Korean cinema, using satire and stuff like that. The story's there. The rise of this guy from these slums, if you like. I don't know if he's from the slums, but from a lower caste to being a very successful businessman. That is a rags to riches story, which is done traditionally very well in film throughout the history. We've seen many stories like that. So I don't think Netflix had to come in and save this. I don't think this would have had any issues getting out there, but this is what Netflix do. They go to film festivals, Venice, Cannes, Toronto. What was it, Jaipur? The Shalom, what was that one we reacted to?
Tango Shalom, yeah.
Tango Shalom went to the Jaipur Film Festival. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is
I
what
think
they
it
do.
I think it won an award.
Yeah, it did,
according to Robert Meyer Burnett on Twitter, yeah.
This is what Netflix do. They go to these film festivals, they look for movies that are perhaps slipping through the net of traditional studios, theatrical releases, gobble them up, give them a platform, people watch them, and then they are allowed to build upon that again, because they've not got the noose around the neck of poor financial performance at the box office and stuff. So they have to be commended, Netflix. They get a lot of flack from snobs. They get booed at the Cannes Film Festival, but they give filmmakers a chance. They give film fans a plethora of content to watch when they're stuck in their houses during the pandemic, when the theatres are not open. So I know Spielberg hates them, but I certainly don't. I'm enjoying this new era. Mixed.
John, when we set up Movie Burner Entertainment back in 2017, we were open to all film, whether it be Hollywood blockbusters and independent films. If you go onto our blog on, obviously, our website at movieburnerentertainment.org, we've got a whole array of talented writers there who write about independent films primarily. The odd blockbuster does crop up, but John, it's a way to open up your eyes and see what's out there other than just what's in the sort of box office, if you like. But
not
it's
more
something
so than
we've
myself,
always.
Stephen. I'm a pretty good writer, and I wrote reviews of a lot of foreign language movies, so I'm going to give myself a pat in the back.
I think you should.
Not as good as Gianni and Dave and the Belgian maestro and stuff like that. So they're on another
obviously
level.
Obviously the viewers that we get into our website, John, are reading these articles, and from an insider's sort of point of view, a lot of these films, reading these reviews, I went in obviously and watched some of these films because of how interesting these reviews are. But John, just one final question before we move on to our final topic. It comes out this Friday, The White Tiger. Will you be watching it on Friday or over the weekend?
I'll watch it over the weekend, Stephen. We'll probably batter a review out next week. I
That's a good show,
slipped my words there. That was like Stephen King. A wavoo. I was like Jonathan Ross there. Crying over you.
It's Ferguson again.
Yeah.
But we'll move
Big
on
time,
to
shall
our
we?
final topic.
I will watch
Move
it
on
over
to
the weekend and review it if you
yeah.
want to.
Yeah, I think we should, John.
Well,
I
do
think
you?
we need to get back into the reviews. You know,
We
we've
do.
not been doing them for a while, so
And I have to get a
we're,
dedicated background for the reviews
we're
because that
doing we are
shambles.
doing WandaVision at the moment, but
Yep.
I don't think there's a new one coming out this week, so
No.
we'll have to see what we're doing Friday. But anyway.